second topic I would like to talk about in this podcast today. I had a very good call this week with a potential client who was talking about his new business, all very exciting, how that person was actually in the process of setting up their website. And as I was listening, it wasn't a strategy call. So I wasn't there to do business recommendations. It was simply online networking call where I got to meet this person online. And this person was focusing on creating their website for their business, for their startup business. And this brings me to the next topic I want to talk about today, which is brands. So everyone wants to have a website. That's great. It's part of the whole brand, but it's one of the elements of what makes your brand. You have to remember the colors that you use, the tagline, the way you are talking to your market, to your audience. All of that is part of your brand. So when you are creating one element of your brand, you have to remember that it will have to match the rest of the other branding elements. And this is the case with one of my existing CCJM clients. They are talking, they have a specific voice on social media, and it's pretty much consistent, so it's all good. But when it comes to their website, there's a completely disconnection of brands, and it's almost like you're looking at a different company. You're thinking, is that the same company? If you didn't look at the name of the company, you wouldn't know it's run by the same people, and that is the same company. So it goes back to the point I was making earlier, where one element of the brand can't be worked on its own unless you apply the same brand, color, theme, voice in terms of language, in terms of fonts, the way you're talking to your audience. So all of that has to be worked out. You need to do your research beforehand, obviously, and then applied as a whole. Some other things that come into your brands is how you deliver your services or your products. It's all part of the brand. It's all part of what company you are. And I have two very good examples that came up this week. The first one was with a client who was really busy during the week and who was unable to fulfill work commitments. And this is a point that I had to make, because it reflects really badly, busy or not, it reflects really badly on the brand. So you have to be consistent in the way you deliver your services as a business, and consistent and reliable, because otherwise the trust that you have been building your brand and creating that connection will start to break. So it's very important in business, the consistency, not only of your social media, for example, but also the delivery of your work and your services. Reliability is very important because it's very much connected with trust. So that's one point. And another very good example is this week, me being a customer, me being on the end for this time, where I purchased an item and I wasn't satisfied by the quality that I received. So the product looked amazing. The promise that was made online, looked amazing. And then when the product arrives, it was very disappointing in terms of product itself, but also the quality of the product was really disappointing. And I actually thought, how could that company allow such poor quality to go out to their customers? So this is one very important point that you have to remember. Always check the quality of what your company, your business, you deliver, either through if it's yourself directly, or if it's through your employees or the person who work for you. So always make sure the quality is there, because again, it will go back to affecting your brand in a bad way. Not only was the product quality very disappointing, the packaging of it was very disappointing. The items weren't packaged individually, and therefore they had been damaged in the process. And the outer packaging was also very poor quality, which could have resulted in in damaging the product themselves. So this goes back to brands. It affects the brands in a bad way. So always bear that in mind.